Welcome back to the channel. Rarest coins. If you're into rare coins or just want to know if you've got something valuable sitting in your pocket change, then you're in the right place. Today, we're going to take a deep dive into one of the most interesting and valuable pennies out there, the 1975 Lincoln penny. Now, when you think of pennies from the 1970s, you probably don't expect them to be worth much more than 1 cent. But hold on to your hats because there's a rare version of the 1975 penny that can fetch you a serious amount of money. We're talking hundreds, and in some cases, thousands of dollars. Stick with me as we break down why this penny might just be sitting in your collection or even in your spare change waiting to make you rich. The 1975 Lincoln penny is part of the ongoing series of pennies that have been produced by the U.S. Mint since 1909, featuring the portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But it's not the regular, everyday 1975 penny that you'll find in most people's coin jars that we're interested in. No. Today we're talking about a rare variety of the 1975 Lincoln penny that has become highly sought after by collectors. So, let's break down what makes this coin so special and how you can identify if you've got a rare and valuable 1975 penny. Rarest coins. Part 1. The basics of the 1975 Lincoln penny. First, let's go over some quick facts about the 1975 Lincoln penny. As most of you probably know, the U.S. Mint produces pennies that feature Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the front, designed by Victor David Brenner. The reverse of the 1975 penny features the iconic Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparro. The coin is made of 95% copper and 5% zinc and weighs about 3.11 grams. It's a standard penny, which means it has a face value of 1 cent. But there's one key factor that makes some 1975 pennies incredibly valuable: a specific error that occurred during minting. The vast majority of 1975 pennies are not worth more than 1 cent. However, there are rare varieties, errors, and anomalies that can drastically increase the coin's value. And one of the most notable is what's called the 1975 Lincoln No-S proof penny. Rarest coins. Part 2. The 1975 No-S proof penny. Now, let's get into what really makes some 1975 pennies worth a lot of money at the 1975 No-S proof penny. So, what does No-S mean, and why is it so valuable? Normally, proof coins, which are specially minted coins intended for collectors, have a mint mark on them. If the coin was minted in San Francisco, it will have the letter Rarest stamped on it. However, in 1975, something went wrong at the U.S. Mint. In an incredibly rare error, a small number of proof pennies that were supposed to have the S mint mark were accidentally struck without any mint mark at all. This means that the coins were minted at the San Francisco Mint but were missing the distinguishing mark that signified they came from that particular mint. Out of all the 1975 proof pennies, only a small handful were released into circulation without the S mint mark, and these are what collectors call the 1975 No-S proof pennies. It's one of the rarest and most sought-after varieties of the 1975 penny. Part 3. The value of the 1975 No-S proof penny. Rarest coins. So now, you might be asking, how much is this rare 1975 No-S proof penny actually worth? The value of this coin depends on its condition, but even a coin in less than perfect condition can fetch you a significant amount of money. On average, a 1975 No-S proof penny can be worth anywhere from $5,000 to $20,000 or more, depending on its condition. Coins that are in pristine condition, graded as MS65 or higher, can reach prices well over $30,000 at auction. This makes it one of the most valuable proof pennies from the 1970s. Some examples have even sold for as much as $40,000. Welcome back to the channel. Rarest coins. If you're a fan of rare coins, or maybe you're just starting to learn about the fascinating world of numismatics, you're in for a treat today. We're going to talk about a coin that has been the talk of the coin collecting community for years, the 1969 Lincoln penny. You might think, a penny from 1969, worth a lot of money? Really? Yes, really. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly why the 1969D Lincoln penny could be sitting in your collection or even in your pocket change, waiting to make you a small fortune. So, grab your magnifying glass and let's dive right into the incredible story behind this rare coin. The 1969D Lincoln penny is like any other penny at first glance. It features the famous portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, and the reverse with the iconic Lincoln Memorial. But what if I told you that some of these very coins, particularly one very rare variety, could be worth thousands and even tens of thousands of dollars? Let's break down what makes the 1969D Lincoln penny so special. Rarest coins. Part 1. The basics of the 1969D Lincoln penny. First, let's start with some basic information about the 1969D Lincoln penny. This coin was part of the regular circulation of pennies, minted by the U.S. Mint in 1969 at the Denver Mint, which is why it carries the AD mint mark. Like other pennies of its era, the 1969D is made of copper, though its composition was changed in later years. On the obverse side, we see Lincoln's portrait, a design that's been on the penny since 1909, and on the reverse, the Lincoln Memorial, which appeared on pennies from 1959 to 2008. Nothing too unusual here, right? This coin seems like just another standard piece of U.S. currency. But here's the thing. Not all 1969D Lincoln pennies are the same. Some of them are incredibly rare and have a hidden treasure inside, and it's all due to a fascinating minting error. Rarest coins. So, what makes the 1969D penny different from the rest? Let's dig deeper into a very specific and extremely valuable error that's been making waves in the coin collecting community for decades. Part 2. The 1969D Lincoln penny double die error. The 1969D Lincoln penny became famous because of a rare and highly sought-after minting error, the double die error. Now, let's break this down. What exactly is a double die? A double die error happens when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned, causing certain details to appear as if they're doubled. This happens when the die is struck more than once during the minting process, often with slight movement between strikes. The result: double images of the design elements, say like the date, lettering, and sometimes other features on the coin. It's not a doubled mint mark, by the way, but rather a double design, which is a crucial detail when identifying this rare error. In the case of the 1969D penny, the most common places to look for doubling are on the date and the letters of the word "A Liberty" on the obverse, and "A in God We Trust." On these rare coins, you can clearly see that the design appears to have been struck twice, with the letters and numbers slightly offset, creating a shadow effect that makes them appear doubled. So, now that we know what a double die is, how do you know if you have one of these rare 1969D pennies in your collection or pocket change? Let's dive into how you can spot this valuable minting error. Rarest coins. Part 3. How to spot a 1969D double die Lincoln penny. Let's talk about how to identify the double die error on the 1969D penny. The key areas to check are the date, the word "A Liberty," and "A in God We Trust." Here's where the error will be most visible. Start by examining the date. On a regular 1969D penny, the date will be crisp and clear. Welcome back to the channel. Rarest coins. If you're into coins, or just like finding hidden gems in your pocket change, today's video is going to be something you don't want to miss. What if I told you that a 2020D Lincoln penny, one of the most recent pennies mint today, could actually be worth a lot of money? You're probably thinking, hey, wait, a penny worth a lot of money? Is that even possible? Well, trust me, it's not only possible, it's happening right now. Stick with me as we dive into why the 2020D Lincoln penny is generating so much buzz and what makes it worth much more than just its face value of 1 cent. Let's jump into it. Rarest coins. The 2020D Lincoln penny is one of the most recent issues in the famous Lincoln Cent series, which began in 1909. It's a regular, modern coin, minted as the Denver Mint. So why is it generating so much excitement in the numismatic world? There's actually a rare, specific version of this penny that has caused quite a stir. So, what makes it worth potentially hundreds, or even thousands, of dollars? Let's find out. Part 1. The basics of the 2020 Lincoln penny. First, let's go over some basics. The 2020 Lincoln penny was struck by the Denver Mint as part of the regular production of U.S. coins. The obverse features Abraham Lincoln, of course, designed by Victor David Brenner, which has been the standard design since the coin's introduction in 1909. The reverse features the Union Shield, introduced in 2010, symbolizing the strength and unity of the country. Rarest coins, nothing too out of the ordinary, right? After all, it's just a penny, and most people are familiar with the look of Lincoln's portrait and the shield design on the back. However, even though it seems like a regular penny, there are some key details that make this particular coin incredibly special and worth a lot of money. So, what exactly is going on with the 2020 Lincoln penny? Let's talk about a rare error that's been turning heads in the coin community. Part 2. The 2020 Lincoln penny wide AM error. Like any famous coin series, the Lincoln penny has had its share of minting errors over the years. Some errors are more noticeable than others, but a very specific and rare variety of the 2020 penny has caused quite a stir. The wide AM error. And believe me, it's making waves in the world of coin collectors and investors. So, what is the wide AM error, and why is it so valuable? Normally, the letters on the reverse of the penny, particularly the A and AM in America, are very close together. That's the normal design. However, on some 2020 Lincoln pennies, due to a die misalignment during the minting process, the A and AM are spaced much farther apart than usual. This is what's called a wide AM error, and it's extremely rare. At first glance, you might think this coin looks nearly identical to a regular 2020 penny, but when you look closely at the reverse, you'll see that the A and AM in America are noticeably farther apart than they should be. This subtle but significant error is what sets this coin apart, and it's what makes it worth so much more than just 1 cent. So, if you've got the 2020 penny, it's definitely worth checking the reverse to see if you have one of these rare wide AM varieties. But how much could it be worth? Let's get into that next. Rarest coins. Part 3. How much is the 2020 wide AM Lincoln penny worth? Now to the exciting part. Just how much is a 2020 wide AM Lincoln penny worth? Well, the answer depends on a few factors, including the grade of the coin and the demand from collectors. Because the wide AM error is so rare, it's caused a significant amount of buzz in the coin community. A typical 2020 wide AM penny in circulated condition, A meaning it's been used as actual currency, A can be worth around $50 to $200, depending on its condition. Welcome back to the channel. Rarest coins. If you're a fan of rare coins, or you just love the idea of finding hidden treasures in your pocket change, then today's video is definitely for you. We're diving into a coin that many people overlook, but for collectors, it holds significant value. That's right, today we're going to talk about the 1978 Lincoln penny. You might be thinking, 1978 pennies are common, they're just a cent. But trust me, there's more to these little coins than meets the eye. Some 1978 pennies are worth far more than 1 cent, and I'm going to show you how you can spot these rare and valuable varieties. Let's get started. The 1978 Lincoln penny was minted in large numbers, and for most people, it's just another penny sitting in your jar or wallet. But, if you're lucky, you could have a rare version of this coin that could fetch a nice amount of money from collectors. From rare minting errors to special varieties, the 1978 Lincoln penny holds some surprises that could potentially turn that small, unassuming penny into a big payout. So, let's break down what makes some 1978 pennies so valuable, and how you can tell if you've got one of these rare gems. Rarest coins. Part 1. The basics of the 1978 Lincoln penny. Before we dive into the specific rare 1978 pennies, let's take a look at the basics. The 1978 Lincoln penny was minted by the U.S. Mint in 2 main locations, Philadelphia and Denver. The obverse side of the coin features Abraham Lincoln's portrait, designed by Victor David Brenner, which has been used on the penny since 1909. The reverse side features the iconic Lincoln Memorial, a design that was used from 1959 until 2008. The coin itself is made of 95% copper and 5% zinc and weighs 3.11 grams. Its diameter is 19 millimeters, the standard size for pennies. But while most of these pennies are just your run-of-the-mill coins, there are a few specific varieties and era coins that can make a 1978 penny worth much more than face value. $1 million rarest coins. Part 2. Rare and valuable 1978 Lincoln penny varieties. Now that you know the basics of the 1978 Lincoln penny, let's talk about the varieties and rare errors that collectors are looking for. There are several key features that can make a 1978 penny worth a lot of money. Some of these coins were struck with unique minting errors that are highly prized by collectors. Let's go over the most valuable varieties. 1. The 1978 D-double die obverse penny. First up, we have the 1978 D-double die obverse penny. Double die errors are some of the most sought-after mistakes in coin collecting. This happens when a coin is struck twice by the same die, causing the image to appear doubled. On a 1978 D penny, the doubling can often be seen most clearly on the date and the word day Liberty. If you closely examine the 7 and 8 in 1978, you may see a clear doubling effect. The same goes for the A Liberty inscription. The doubling can sometimes be subtle, but when you spot it, it's unmistakable. Coins like this are highly collectible, depending on the severity of the doubling and the overall condition of the coin. A 1978 D-double die obverse penny can be worth anywhere from $100 to $500 in lower grades. But if you've got a coin that's in mint condition or graded as MS65 or higher, it could be worth $1,000 or more. And if you've got one in uncirculated condition, the value could go even higher. Rarest coins. 2. The 1978 no mint mark proof penny. Philadelphia. Next, let's talk about a much rarer variety, the 1978 aone mint mark proof penny. Now, proof coins are specially made for collectors, and most proof pennies from 1978 were minted in Philadelphia and have the S mint mark to indicate they were struck at the San Francisco Mint. However, in a few rare cases, some proof pennies from 1978 were accidentally struck at the Philadelphia Mint and lacked the usual mint mark altogether. Because these aone mint mark proof pennies were so rare, they're highly desirable. In fact, they can be worth significantly more than a regular proof penny from the same year. A 1978. Welcome back to the channel. Rarest coins. If you're a coin collector or just someone who's curious about rare coins, you've tuned into the right video. Today, we're going to talk about a coin that might be sitting in your pocket change right now. A coin that, if you've got the right one, could be worth far more than just 1 cent. That's right, we're talking about the 2003 Lincoln penny. And no, we're not just talking about any old 2003 penny. We're talking about the rare, valuable versions that have made some collectors a lot of money over the years. So, if you're wondering, what makes a 2003 Lincoln penny worth so much money? Stick around, because I'm about to break it all down for you. At first glance, the 2003 Lincoln penny doesn't seem like it would be a valuable coin. After all, it's a penny at the smallest denomination in U.S. currency. It has Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the front, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But don't be fooled by its simplicity. In the world of coin collecting, even the most common pennies can hold incredible value under the right circumstances. And the 2003 penny is no exception. Part 1. The basics of the 2003 Lincoln penny. Let's start with some basic facts about the 2003 Lincoln penny. The 2003 penny, like all pennies since 1982, is made of copper-plated zinc. It weighs 2.5 grams, and it has a diameter of 19 millimeters. It was minted in large quantities in both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, and for most people, it's just a coin you pass by in your change without giving it a second thought. On the obverse, you've got the classic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, a design by Victor David Brenner that's been used on the penny since 1909. On the reverse, the Lincoln Memorial, a design used from 1959 to 2008. These are the standard designs we're all familiar with, so what's the big deal with a 2003 penny? Well, what makes some 2003 pennies incredibly valuable lies in a few specific error coins and varieties that collectors are eager to find. Part 2. Rare 2003 Lincoln penny errors. When it comes to coins, errors are one of the main things that drive up value, and while most 2003 Lincoln pennies are worth just 1 cent, there are some error coins from this year that are worth a lot more. Let's go over a few of the most valuable and rare error types that you could be looking for in your 2003 pennies. Rarest coins. 1. The 2003 D double die obverse penny. First, let's talk about the double die obverse error, specifically the 2003 D penny. A double die obverse error occurs when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned, causing the design on the coin to be stamped twice. This results in a doubling effect, most noticeably on the date, the word "A Liberty," and the motto "A in God We Trust." Rarest coins on the 2003 D penny. The most common areas where this doubling can be seen are on the date, especially the A3 in 2003 A and the letters in the word "A Liberty." The doubling can be subtle, but with the right tools, like a magnifying glass or loupe, it's easy to spot. The doubling is usually offset, so the second image appears slightly to the side of the main design, creating a shadow effect. Now, the value of a 2003 D double die penny can vary depending on its condition and the clarity of the doubling. In lower grades, it can be worth around $50 to $100, but in higher grades, with clear doubling, these pennies can be worth several $100s and in some cases, even more. Rarest coins. 2. The 2003 D close AM penny. Next, we have another rare and highly sought-after error known as a close AM variety. Normally, the letters A and AM in A America on the reverse of the penny are separated by a noticeable gap. However, a rare few 2003 D pennies were struck with the die that caused the A and M to be too close together, hence the name, close AM. Welcome back to the channel. Rarest coins. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button because today we're diving into a truly fascinating coin, the 1984 Lincoln penny. You might be wondering, a penny from 1984, how could it possibly be worth anything? Well, you'd be surprised. In the world of coin collecting, even the most common coins can sometimes be hiding a rare treasure. And today, we're going to talk about a few specific 1984 Lincoln pennies that could be worth a lot of money. Some of these coins could be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars, and the best part is, you might already have one sitting in your pocket change. Stick around as we take a deep dive into why some 1984 pennies are worth a lot more than just 1 cent. The 1984 Lincoln penny is part of the ongoing series of pennies minted since 1909, which features President Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. It's a classic design, but there's something special hidden in certain 1984 pennies that has made them incredibly valuable among collectors. So, let's get to the good stuff. What makes the 1984 penny so special, and how can you tell if yours is worth a small fortune? Rarest coins. Part 1. The basics of the 1984 Lincoln penny. Let's start with the basics. The 1984 Lincoln penny was minted at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. These are copper-plated zinc pennies, weighing 2.5 grams and featuring the classic Lincoln portrait designed by Victor David Brenner. The reverse features the Lincoln Memorial, which was used on pennies from 1959 to 2008, before the design was updated to the Union Shield in 2010. At first glance, the 1984 penny doesn't look all that special. It's not exactly rare on its own, and in most cases, it's worth just 1 cent. But, like with many coins, there are certain varieties, minting errors, and even some unique features that can cause a seemingly ordinary coin to skyrocket in value. So, how do you find out if your 1984 penny is worth a lot more than just 1 cent? Let's find out. Rarest coins. Part 2. The 1984 Lincoln penny double die error. One of the most exciting discoveries that has made some 1984 Lincoln pennies worth a lot of money is a very rare minting error known as the double die error. Now, I know what you might be thinking. What exactly is a double die error? Let me explain. A double die error occurs when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned, or when the die is struck more than once, causing the image on the coin to appear doubled. The result: certain design elements, like the date, letters, and other features, will appear as if they've been struck twice, creating a ghost effect around the original design. This can happen with any part of the design, but the most common places you'll find doubling are on the date, the letters in the word "Day Liberty," and the motto "In God We Trust." Rarest coins. Now, you might be asking, how do I spot the double die error on my 1984 penny? Well, let's break it down. Part 3, How to Spot a 1984 Double Die Lincoln Penny. To identify the 1984 Lincoln Penny with the double die error, there are a few specific places to check on the coin, and it's easier than you think. Here's what to look for. First, look at the date. 1984. A double die error on the date is usually quite noticeable. In most cases, the numbers will appear to be doubled, with a shadow image of each number just to the side of the main digits. Check the A8 and A4 for doubling. You'll often see the second image of each digit faintly offset to the right. Next, take a look at the word "Day Liberty." On a double die penny, you'll see doubling on the letters, particularly the AL, AI, and AB. You might notice that the lines of these letters,